In question 8, it says figure 1 shows a patch shown shaded made from two identical rectangles ABCD, ABCD and DEFG, and a sector DCG, this one, of a circle with center D. Imagine it's a circle and the center is D over here. Now, each rectangle measures x centimeter by y centimeter. If this one is x, then this one will also be x, and this one will also be x, and this one will also be x, and all of these will be y. The radius of this sector is x, and definitely the radius is x, and the angle CDG is 0.5 radians. So it's 0.5 radian. The angle is 0.5 radian. So they have given us the area of a shaded patch, which is 50. So the area is 50 here. The perimeter, which is the summation of all the sides, is P. So they haven't given the perimeter here yet. Show that P equals this. All right. So they want you to find the perimeter. They want you to find the perimeter too. So to find the perimeter, we have to add all the sides. So when you add all the sides, you will find x and y, both of them there. However, in our question, we can see that there is no y over here. So as there is no y, we have to substitute y, the value of y, from another equation. How can we find another equation? Here is the hint. The area of the batch is 50. As the area of the batch is 50, so we'll write the equation for area as 50. From there, we can find the subject the value of y. After subjecting the value of y, we'll substitute that into the equation of p to find the answer. Let's start the math now. So first of all, we have to find the area and equal and put a equal as 50. The formula for area of a rectangle is length times breadth, that is x times y. So we have two of them, so we can write 2xy. So we can write 2xy over here. And for this shaded part, the area for the sector of a circle, if it's in radian mode, is half r squared theta, where in this question, radius is actually x. So instead of writing half r squared theta, we can write half x squared. And instead of writing theta, we can write half radian. So we can just write half. So half times half will become 1/4. So we finally found the equation for an area of the shape, and then we can write equals 50. From here, we need to subject the value of y from here. How can we do that? We can write 2xy plus 1/4 x squared equals 50. Then we can transfer this 1/4 x squared to the other side. So twice x equals 50 minus 1/4 x squared. And then to subject y, we have to divide this whole twice x to the right hand side. So when we divide everything with twice x, and then when we simplify, we get 25 over x minus 1/8 x. We have to now find the equation for perimeter, where we will substitute the value of y in that equation. So how to find the equation for the perimeter? So that's we have to add all the sides. So we have one x here, and we have another x here. So we will have two twice x, and then we have 4 of the y here. So we'll write 4y. To find this one, we know that we have to use the formula for arc length of a sector. The formula for arc length of a sector is r theta, where in this question r will be substituted as x. So we can write x, and instead of theta, we can write half. So when we add half x plus twice x, we get 2.5x, or we can write 5/2x plus 4/y. That's how we can get the equation for the perimeter. So we can see that we have already found the equation of the perimeter as 5/2x plus 4y. Now, instead of this y, we'll just substitute this value over here. After we simplify, we can finally get our desired answer. Question B says, given that x can vary, use calculus to find the exact value of x for which p is minimum. So to find the value of x, we have to differentiate the equation of p. After differentiating, we have to put this equation equals 0. From there, we can find or subtract the value of x, which is the answer for this one. The next point says, justify or prove that this value of x gives a minimum value for p. To find the minimum value of p, we have to double differentiate. So when we double differentiate, we have to substitute the value of x into that differentiated equation. If the final result is more than 0, that is positive, that means I can say it's a minimum value. If the final result is a negative, that means less than 0, so I can say it's a maximum value. P is maximum. Let's start solving this math. So first of all, we have to differentiate P's equation. So let's write P, but instead of writing x on the denominator, I will write it like this. So the process of differentiating is, we know that the power should be multiplied with 2. So 1 to the power 1 times 2 is 2, and then x, the power of x will be reduced by 1. So as the power is 1, so if I subtract 1 from here, it will become 0. So 2 to the power x to the power 0, or anything to the power 0 is 1. So we can just write 2. Then this power will come and multiply to the front. It will become negative, and then x to the power minus 1, and again minus 1. So the final result will be minus 2. Now, if we want to simplify, we have to write 2, and then instead of writing x to the power minus 2, we'll just put it on the denominator, and it will become 100 over x squared. So we are done with differentiating the value of p. Now it's time to put this whole equation equals 0. So after differentiating, when we put dp by dx equals 0, we can finally subject the value of x from here. The value of x will become 5 root 2. We now have to substitute this value of x into the double differentiated result. Let's say dp over dx equals 2 minus, instead of writing over x squared, we'll write x to the power minus 2 on denominator, on numerator, and now we'll start double differentiating. So to double differentiate, there is no value of x, so there is no there is no necessity to write 2. This minus 2 will come to the front and multiply it with minus 100, which will give it positive 200 x to the power minus 3. Now to simplify, we have to write 200 over x cube. So after getting the value of double differentiated result, we have to substitute the value of x. So when x equals 5 square root of 2, finally find the result. So as the result over here, you can see the result is positive, which is greater than 0. So we can say it is a minimum value. Let's move to the last question, where it says, find the minimum value of p. As we have already found the value of x from the previous question, which is x equals 5 square root of 2, when we substitute that value of x into the equation, we can finally get the value of p. So let's try to substitute that. You can see that over here, they have substituted, instead of x, they have substituted 5 square root of 2, and then 100 over 5 square root of 2. So when you substitute that, you can get the value of p, which is 20 square root of 2. You can use a calculator over here as well.